It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. You can catch the show on here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ, so I invite you to please tune in if you're just listening to me for the first time on the airwaves here. This show is all about business owners and entrepreneurs in and around the Tampa Bay region, and so bringing a positive message to the airwaves is what this show is all about. Learn more about the show also over at my website, tampabayradio.com, and as always, I extend an invite to any and all business owners, entrepreneurs, or anybody with a great story to tell even. If you want to come on to the airwaves here, I'd love to hear from you. Please shoot me an email. Best way to get me, Jamie at tampabayradio.com, and give me a pitch of what it is that you do. I'd love to hear from you, and there is no cost to come in here, so don't let that stop you. And it's a great experience. I have a lot of fun meeting a lot of the very influential people from in and around the community. And so, again, send me an email, Jamie at tampabayradio.com, with what it is that you're doing. There's a lot of exciting things going on in the Tampa Bay region, and that's the reason why I started this show up and stuff. I wanted to be a part of what's going on in the community and meet our business owners and entrepreneurs and political leaders that are fueling the growth in our region, and not so much focus on all the complaining and governmental problems that we hear so much about in the news. So this show is all about positivity and what's right with our community. And again, learn more about the show over at tampabayradio.com. Also, connect with me on all the social networking sites. You can find me over on Facebook.com/That Business Show, Twitter under the handle Jamie_Meloni. I'm also up on iTunes. If you're an iTunes follower, just search for That Business Show and look me up on demand on iTunes as well. As always, got two great business owners in studio today. Actually, we got a couple more on the second half of the show. On the second half of the show, we'll be featuring the Jim Yeager with Yeager & Company weekly feature, the Remodeler's Corner, that we have every Thursdays at 8:30. And he's brought two gentlemen with him that works with him in the business. We'll hear from Charlie the Plumber, Charlie Palavita, a very entertaining character. He'll be on with Jim in the second half of the show. And also Pat Goodrich, who works with Jim over at Yeager & Company on window coverings and things of that nature. So we'll be talking with those three gentlemen on the second part of the show. And up here on the first part of the show, let's go and bring on my first guest, Jason Ashton, who is the president of CallPass. CallPass Tech is an industry leader and provider of GPS tracking devices, providing LBS services to a variety of industry, including subprime auto finance, franchise car dealerships, and international distribution channels. CallPass Tech has developed and successfully branded iGotcha GPS, providing superior devices, applications, and services for the marketplace. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing very well. So first of all, tell me more about what is CallPass.
CallPass is a GPS solutions provider. We got our start in the subprime auto finance world. So you may have heard that affectionately referred to as buy here, pay here car dealers.
Okay.
So any car dealer that's selling to people with poor credit, in most cases they're holding the note on the lot, meaning they're collecting the payments. It's not a traditional bank loan. Obviously, there's a lot of risk associated with that. So we provide GPS tracking devices as well as applications to install in those vehicles.
Okay, so when we say GPS, my mind goes to the GPSs that sit on your dash that guide you in traffic. So this is not what that technology is. This is for the guys who are making the loans, and these things are inside these cars, right? Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay,
so
good.
Yeah, so I mean, what you're talking about is more like a Garmin or
right.
Or
that's where my
Google
mind
Maps,
immediately goes to. So I want to just set that straight for the listener out there that we're not talking about the GPSs that guide you through the city each and every day.
Right. Absolutely. You mentioned it in the opening. LBS, location-based services. So these are truly trackers, if you will. All right. So a device goes into the vehicle, and in case, it's there for risk mitigation, right? So in case something goes bad with that loan, whether it's missed payments, late payments, the dealer then has recourse, and they can go and pick up the car or arrange for payments. So these devices, they have starter interrupt capability. They're not shutting anybody's car down while they're in motion. It prevents the ignition to turn over, if you will, if a payment's not made on time, and they can arrange to make the payments. But again, from a recovery standpoint, you log into our web-based software, all right? hit a button. It'll give you a real-time GPS location of that vehicle, and you can arrange for pickup.
Oh, interesting. So your clientele is strictly subprime auto dealers?
Well, we have two lines of business now. All right. Originally, in 2006, CallPass was formed. We've been growing that business channel since then. Currently, we have about 6,000 dealers across 42 states, have about 300,000 devices on the road. All right. In 2013, we opened up a subsidiary company called CallPass M2M Solutions, and that is more of your true asset tracking applications. All right. So we're using a variety of devices. We have about 12 different device types, and we have our own web-based applications. So we're tracking vehicles, anywhere from Salesforce delivery services, getting information for vehicle maintenance, diagnostic information, asset tracking.
Okay, so it's not strictly just to track down the defaulter on the loan. These things are also for vehicle maintenance, things of that nature?
Absolutely. So, I mean, again, two different business lines, all right? And on the asset tracking side, we've branded that software called ADAMS, Asset Tracking Management System. We're doing a lot of work in container tracking, trailer tracking, heavy machinery, in addition to vehicles. Vehicles is always the starting point. I mean, you think about how many vehicles are on the road, not only from a consumer standpoint, but from a business standpoint. You got your shipping companies, your plumbing services, or any type of service provider. There's a lot of time theft, if you will. There's a lot of, mileage gauging. There's a lot of fuel consumption. Everybody has some type of business need where they want to tighten up, if you will.
Can these devices also be used for the everyday business owner, such as myself, who's traveling in and around the houses and want to track our mileage better? Is that something that caters to that clientele as well?
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many uses for the technology. It really becomes the end user's preference. If you're looking to track behavior, then these devices are a great way to do that. If you're trying to track mileage, if you're a salesman or you just want to know how many miles you're putting on your vehicle, this application will help you with that.
And will this also help with safety? So say I have techs that are out in the road, and I don't have a tech that doesn't call, and I can't find him. It gives me a location of a truck.
Yeah, I mean, and that side of the business, you have a lot of what they call real-time tracking. So the devices are communicating down to every second if you need it to. All right, so you can just log in and see on a map and watch your car. We call it dots on a map, but you can actually watch your vehicle in real time. If you do have that emergency situation, you always have a locate on demand feature.
Very interesting. Yeah, I find it a challenge being a real estate professional, driving from house to house, but I also use my car for personal use and stuff. I mean, is it convenient enough for me to use, in everyday, business? I mean, how do I separate the personal from the professional driving, aspect of it? Is there an application that makes it easy for that type of usage?
It's very easy. All of our applications are web-based, so you can grab a tablet, you can grab your iPhone, Android.
So can I click a button that says, okay, now I'm driving to Walmart, in the evening. It's just in a business trip. But now I got a call. I got to go to a client's house. Is it that simple to use? I mean, if I had a tablet with myself, that it easily is tracking my mileage with nothing more than a click of a tablet?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have routing features inside your maps, if you will. All right. So if you were in that situation and you weren't using a Garmin for that directional service.
Yeah, because keeping a mileage log is a big hassle in the business, and I mean, most people I don't think keep mileage logs, and it's so having a technology such as CallPass that you have here is, I think, a big benefit just to my business as well. Do you see a lot of real estate professionals using this technology right now, or is this a market that you really haven't tapped into yet?
Really haven't gotten into the real estate market, but I would correlate that back to a sales market. We do a lot of work with sales forces, and you brought up mileage a couple times. We have report tools inside the application, so it really is as simple as, hey, I want to see how many miles I went last week. You put in your date range, you hit a button, and you're going to get a full printout report.
Very nice. Now, but your big market is subprime auto dealers. Is that the core of this technology right now?
Yeah, I would say that's the core of our business. We have been expanding the services. Again, 2013, we really got into the other side of things. If you look at the forecast of where M2M technology, mobile-to-mobile technology is going, the number of connected tablets or connected devices over the next 3 to 5 years is going to be astronomical.
And how is the demand from the subprime dealers and stuff when you present this to them? Do you find that there's a lot of pushback, or is this something that they're eating up right now?
Oh, I would say since 2008, the acceptance of the technology has been overwhelming. I would say 2007, 2008, there was probably less than a 10% penetration or acceptance in that marketplace, and it's probably closer to 50% now.
Now, where do these devices go in the vehicles? And do do people even know that they're in there necessarily that are buying these subprime loans or getting these subprime loans on these cars?
That's a great question, and I don't know if I can answer that legally. Just kidding. We provide a service, right? So we're an application provider. We don't get involved in the installation, if you will, but these devices are installed. Typically, they're wired up either through what they call an OBD pass-through cable, or they're hardwired where you're connecting a constant ground power to the device, and then they're put up in the dashboard typically. All right. They are concealed. They should be concealed because you don't want them tampered with.
Right.
Every dealer, every state governs the use of these devices differently. So I don't want to get out of bounds here when I say this, but we would recommend to a dealer they should be disclosing that there's a device in there. All the industry statistics show that you're going to truly improve your payment performance if the person that's driving the vehicle knows there's a device in the car. All right. Does that mean every car dealer does disclose it? I can't answer that.
Now, you just simply provide the box and stuff to the dealers and stuff, so you're not in charge of installation or anything. How does the installation work?
Typically, I mean, most dealers this day and age have mechanics on site. Otherwise, they have their own installation network. I mean, you know, if you think about like a window tint place or an AV radio install, those people are very, very good, very adept at putting these devices in. But most this day and age have mechanics on site.
Yeah. Got a quick question here from Charlie, who's going to be on the second half of the show. Charlie Palavita, go ahead. You had a question for Jason.
Is this kind of like a low jack application where they can, if the vehicle is stolen, that they can recover it, and do the police, would they be able to use it?
No, low jack is a direct tie-in to the police, right? So if you're in that situation, you do have a low jack service, that's communicating directly with the police, and that is just a theft recovery mechanism. So our devices, again, are there for risk mitigation. They're for the tracking of the vehicle in case something goes wrong with a loan.
Okay, but private industry could use this. The police could use this for their vehicles as well, right?
Absolutely. That would be on our more M2M solution side of the business. That would be separate from iGotcha. That would be on our Adams tracking platform.
But if somebody were to report their car stolen and to their lender, for instance, could the lender then go into the technology and find where this car is?
Absolutely. We've recovered. Our system's been part of recovering hundreds of different vehicles in those situations. We do communicate a lot with law enforcement across the country in those situations. I mean, whether it's an accident and they want to know what took place, or, again, there was some type of theft and there was a need for recovery, they utilize the device and they can find it. Absolutely.
Very great question. We've got another question here from Jim Yeager, who's also going to be on the second part of the show. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Jason. So it's funny enough because we're looking at the GPS tracking system, too. We have one now in like one truck. Kind of cumbersome, you know, when we need to find out where the truck's at. Mm-hmm. So we have different things getting picked up, you know, throughout the bay. We want to put them in all the rest of the trucks, you know,
okay.
Like I think there's 11 or 12 of them. So we can see. Is there a way that you can see that like on a screen that would show where all of the vehicles are at, or does it have to be put in by the specific vehicle that you're looking for?
Yeah, so on that type of application, what you're looking to do, if you want to monitor all your vehicles, and I call it real time, all right, you would go to our live tracking tab, and you would see each one of your vehicles across, you know, whether they're across the state, out of state. The map will expand and contract based on the furthest point, if you will. All right, again, those devices are communicating down to every second. All right, so they're giving you a real-time location. You're going to know their speed, direction. You can drop right in on them, zoom in, know exactly where the vehicle is. The only thing you're really missing is that picture of the vehicle itself.
Great technology and a great application. Very good use in today's on the go environment.
It sounds like we got a sale here today.
Yeah, I know. You're making a sale here with the guys here on the second part of the show. Go ahead, Jim.
Without putting you on the spot, though, what is like a estimated ballpark cost per vehicle? Is that, you know, like is by quantity more than so many, or how does that normally work?
Yeah, so quantity always plays a part. The technology itself, so you're dealing with hardware, right? So you're going to have a varying range in the hardware depending on how many, whether it's vehicles, whether it's asset, depending on what you're tracking. In that buy here, pay here world, you know, the average cost is anywhere from $89 up to about $129, depending on what type of technology. In the M2M solution space, again, you're looking at $80 devices, could be up to $250 devices when you're talking about solar-powered units and what it is you're tracking. For your type of vehicles, you're more in that $100 range for pricing. Then you have a monthly application fee, and that's going to include your software. That's your telecom component, because all these devices are communicating over the internet, and obviously there's a data flow. So if the device is communicating, say, every minute, you're chewing up data, if you will, right? So
let me take a quick break here. Coming back from the break, though, we'll talk more here with Jason Ashton of CallPass Tech about GPS tracking technologies. And you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of the Jamie Maloney Real Estate Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
Hi, neighbor.
Mr. Rogers passed along friendship, hoping we would too. Friendship. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
We are still seeing stop-and-go traffic on 275 southbound from I-4 to Ashley because of a crash that has the right shoulder blocked. Still have a crash in Pinellas on 49th Street southbound south of Ulmerton. 2 lanes are blocked, and a crash now in Brandon on State Road 60 at the ramp to northbound 75. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
More humid, 10% rain chance, high 82. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 67. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 81.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, find this show on weekdays here on 1250 WHNZ at 8 a.m. And also learn more about this show over at the website tampabayradio.com. Talking in studio right now with Jason Ashton, president of CallPass Tech, a GPS recovery type of device used in subprime dealers to track defaulted auto loans, also for fleet tracking, things of that nature. It's got a wide variety of applications. Jason, tell me more about the history of CallPass, when it was founded and how it came to be.
CallPass was founded in 2006. It was kind of a spinoff of Mid-Atlantic Finance Group on Kevin Hawkins. Located in Clearwater, Florida. The development was a natural fit. Mid-Atlantic Finance is a subprime auto portfolio acquisitions company, so they're buying up the loans. And obviously, as the technology was penetrating that area, they saw an opportunity and decided they wanted to get involved in the business. Started off as a reseller of
so the inspiration behind the device was defaulted auto loans.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's where it originated.
Absolutely. So that's where the business really originated from. I came on board in 2008 as president of the company and have been there ever since. I'm going on my 7th year come October. And the evolution of the company itself, again, we started out as a reseller where we designed our own application, meaning the software that you're logging into. That's been proprietary since day one. But we were utilizing a variety of different device types. We locked down a great manufacturer relationship with Zergo Technologies back in 2011. So if you're familiar with the Progressive Snapshot device, for example,
right,
that's a Zergo Technologies device. So we have a very, very strong hardware partner. Having that type of partnership is what it's allowed us to get into other applications. That's why we've expanded into that more of the asset tracking world, fleet tracking world, because we have all their entire breadth of products.
Now, are there apps that people have to download on their mobile devices, things of that nature? I mean, or is this strictly just a desktop web-based type application?
No, it's we call it web-based, right? So it's desktop, it's laptop, and it's any type of mobile browser that you can log into, right? So again, your cell phone, your tablets, any type of device that you have the internet.
Now, I'm over at the site, which is CallPass Tech, and I see you got the device. I Gotcha is the GPS tracking device. How does GPS tracking work? Are you familiar with that, or is that on the technical side of things? How does all this GPS stuff come together and everything?
Well, I mean, without geeking out, if you will.
No, I want to learn a little bit more about how this GPS stuff even works and stuff.
You got 24 satellites around the Earth, right? Referred to as the constellation. Mm-hmm. And any GPS communication is originating from those satellites, all right? Inside a device, we call it the tech in the box, all right? You have GPS radio or GPS module, all right? In addition to having a SIM card for your telecommunications aspect, you have a radio and a receiver. What you're doing with our systems is you're either hitting a button to communicate to the device, or you're programming the device to automatically communicate. So what's happening is the device is communicating to the satellite to get a location, a lat long, if you will. Mm-hmm. All right. And then when it comes back to the box, it's transmitting that over the internet, and that's how you're getting it as the end user.
Right.
All right. So it's very simple.
Right.
All right. At the same time, it's obviously really complex.
Yeah. No, I was reading about GPS in the past and stuff, and there's also a delay between the time it takes the signals and the movement of the Earth and the physics behind the GPS and how it has to adjust for the signal transfer time and stuff. So there's a lot of interesting things in that realm as well.
A lot of that has to do with how many satellites are communicating at the same time, right? If you're only communicating to 2 or 3 satellites, you're going to have a slower signal. You're going to get something back. It's just going to take a little longer. But if you're above 4 satellites communicating at the same time, you're getting a pretty quick location.
Yeah, I've watched many shows and done some research on that and stuff about the physics behind GPS. It's a very interesting technology, and that's a topic for a whole other show and things like that. Talk to me about the sales and the location. How has sales been since you've taken over, and also where are the different locations and stuff that CallPass Tech is operating in?
Sales have been great. We continuously grow every year. We have a phone center, if you will, inside of our office in Clearwater, Florida. All right, we have 12 people on the phones day in and day out for that buy here, pay here space. We have offices in Houston as well, where we have people out there, we call them feet on the street. So we have outside salespeople, we have distributors, we have resellers, and we have a great marketplace. Again, we're doing business in 42 states right now, and from that buy here, pay here standpoint, and we're doing the same thing on the MDM solution side.
What about a contract timeline? Is there a certain amount of commitment that people have to commit to with this, or can they do it, by month to month? Or obviously something like this is something long term, especially from a subprime, dealer's perspective. So what type of commitment do people need to put in for these?
So 2 different sides there. On the buy here, pay here side, you're getting a service. You're getting an annual service, and anytime we can have a 1-year, 2-year, 3-year agreement. There's really no contract. You're paying for everything up front. All right, so it just becomes servicing at that point in time. There is no monthly on that side of the business. It's one price fits all, and you have the application for your on-demand use. On the MDM Solutions side, you do have a monthly commitment, and you do have a 12-month minimum. A lot of companies, because we could do a lot with the price, if you're going into a longer-term commitment, we roll the hardware in. You can OpEx it, they call it, and just really, get your costs down. I mean, it gets expensive over time depending on how big your fleet is. We're doing a container rollout right now for a group that's starting out 400 container tracking devices in one location. Ultimately, that's going to wind up being 6,000 devices. All right, so in that situation, hardware gets really expensive.
Right.
So we'll roll it into a monthly and make it a little easier for you.
Well, great technology and obviously very applicable to today's on-the-go environment and everything. So that was Jason Ashton, president of CallPass Tech, and thank you very much for coming in today and talk with me.
Thanks for having me.
And get more information about that over at CallPass Tech. Also, you can shoot Jason an email, jason@callpasstech.com for more information, and also catch up on the show recap over at tampabayradio.com. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Register at legacyeducation.com or call toll-free 1-844-426-7424.
Things aren't the same as they were when Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago. We didn't have reality TV. Back then, it was just reality. The most exciting thing that ever happened was when Jimmy got his head stuck in a gopher hole. And trust me, that's not a show anyone would binge watch. Yep, we didn't have much entertainment. But switching our car insurance to Geico was pretty exciting.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
How strong is Allegra D?
It's my congestion's out of my way strong. Even in the park, playing with my dogs. Go fetch, Bosley.
Allegra D, a fast, non-drowsy antihistamine plus a powerful decongestant that starts relieving your toughest allergy symptoms in under 1 hour.
Allegra D is breathing free for 24 hours strong, even in the convertible.
Allegra D, strong relief for your allergy symptoms, guaranteed or your money back. Visit Allegra.com. Use only as directed.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
She didn't just visit the sick and poor. She moved in with them because they needed help. Mother Teresa couldn't do it all, but she gave her all. Compassion. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
We are still seeing stop-and-go traffic on 275 southbound from I-4 to Ashley because of a crash that has the right shoulder blocked. Still have a crash in Pinellas on 49th Street southbound south of Ulmerton. 2 lanes are blocked, and a crash now in Brandon on State Road 60 at the ramp to northbound 75. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
Winds, Weather Center forecast, sunshine and a few scattered clouds, a little bit more than yesterday. We'll see a 20% chance of showers as well in the forecast with a high temperature, once again, the low mid-80s. Tonight's lows a bit cooler into the mid-60s. Impact Radio, 1250 winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, find this show on here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ. Also, learn more about the show over at tampabayradio.com. If you're just tuning in, we were just talking with Jason Ashton, president of CallPass Tech, about GPS tracking devices for the subprime auto industry, also for fleet tracking. A great little device there, and something that's in 42 different states, and a lot of uses and applications for that device. And again, learn more about that over at callpasstech.com. Also, you can catch more about that on the show recap. Head over to tampabayradio.com and just click on the main page where it says show recaps, and you'll have all of the information over there as well if you don't have time to jot that down right now. It's time for our weekly feature here featuring Yeager & Company. Every Thursdays at 8:30 we feature Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company, and a couple of his subcontractors usually join him in studio. And so, again, every Thursday is the Remodeler's Corner. Jim Yeager has 42 years of experience in floor covering and home remodeling. Yeager & Company is celebrating its founding now 70 years later and appears in multiple categories for the past 7 years by the Angie's List Super Service Award. Yeager's is the best shop-at-home flooring company in the Tampa Bay market. Yeager & Company is not a here-today, gone-tomorrow type of company, and they have been around since 1944. Jim, thanks for coming in again this Thursday morning. How you doing today?
Doing great, Jamie. Thanks for having me. And it's a great show. It was real interested listening to
I think
Jason.
they made a sale on you there.
Yeah.
I got a sales. I was trying to turn the show into a sales negotiation here. So, very applicable device for what you do.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you got a lot of fleet and workers out in the field. So that GPS tracking device is something that would be of definite use to you in the contracting business. So it looks like you probably have some follow-up show negotiations here going on.
Yeah,
So
I think that for the service aspect of it, we run a fleet of shop-at-home vehicles. So when calls come in to the call center, it would be awesome to be able to pull up on the computer screen and see where the vehicles are at and how close we can, or how soon we can get somebody over. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, very good technology. You got two of your subcontractors with us today. You want to give a quick introduction on who we got here today?
We got Charlie the plumber, Charlie Palavita. Needs no introduction. Charlie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jim. Another great day to be alive in America, brother.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
And we have Pat Woodrich, which is a friend of mine and also a good associate, a great associate, actually, for all our window covering needs.
Yeah.
To make a good total remodeling company, you need to be able to take care of everything from the roof to the floor, from the walls to the windows. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing is with Pat's business is he also has 30 years in the industry and is kind of, a couple of people, sells, does the work. We don't have any installation problems, any kind of knowledge problems, the wrong product. It's awesome to have a person like Pat. I think probably the biggest thing that we do together, Pat, is shutters.
Yes.
And
do you get into the hurricane shutters and the wood blinds and the window treatments and all the whole 9 yards? Talk to me about what your business entails specifically.
Pretty much all of it, Jamie, with the exception of hurricane shutters. All of our work we do is interior. The biggest segment in the window covering industry right now has got to be plantation shutters, and we offer a variety of them from polycore synthetic shutters to basswood, hardwood shutters.
You say plantation shutters. What is plantation shutters specifically?
Plantation shutters is just a style of a shutter. It's got different louver sizes to it, different frame styles. They mount inside the window. We like to refer to it almost as window furniture.
Okay.
Because it's a finished product for the window. It completes the window. There's really not anything else you have to do to the window when you get done with shutters. And like I said, it virtually cases out the window, gives you a really good-looking product, and gives you something that's functional and fashionable on the window.
How long have you been operating in the business here with window coverings? And is that strictly what you do? Is that your niche? You don't do any type of other contracting work?
No, I've been in the, like Jim said, I've been in the industry for over 30 years. I started Shutters, Blinds, and More about 10 years ago.
Okay, so the company that you operate, Shutters, Blinds, and More, that's the company? Okay.
That's correct. And we started out manufacturing shutters and did that for a while. And then we sort of branched out into just doing the finished product and ordering that in. Like Jim said, we do it start to finish. We go out and provide the measure, order the product. We come back in person and do the install ourselves and just do the whole complete job.
Now, what's popular out there? I know you just mentioned plantation shutters and stuff. What's popular right now in the Tampa Bay market? I like the wood blinds and things of that nature. Are they still real popular now, or what else is happening out there?
Yeah, we still do quite a few of the 2-inch horizontal blinds, but shutters, like I said, it seems to be the hot product right now for the window covering industry. We're doing quite a bit more of motorization of products, especially in the sunscreen shades, sheer weaves, and they work very good on sliding glass doors, which we've had vertical blinds around now for probably 30 years, and I think people are getting a little tired of
the vertical blinds are so messy and sloppy, and they're always falling off their tracks and everything. Yeah, those things need to go away.
Yeah, it's unfortunately in Florida, every house has at least 2 sliding glass doors in it, and vertical blinds have almost been just a natural for a sliding glass door. But
what are some good alternatives for the sliding glass doors as opposed to those vertical blinds? What are some alternatives to that?
Well, like I said, we're doing motorization now of the sunscreen shades, and
which is a big shade that kind of comes down.
Yeah,
okay, I've seen those. Yeah,
and it drops down to the floor, but it also goes all the way up to the top of the door to get out of the way, which you need on sliding glass doors. We're doing still doing cell shades in a vertical application for sliding glass doors, which stack extremely tight, so you can push those off to the side. And we're doing some sheer shadings now in verticals that work out really well for windows.
Now, how big's your company? Are you a one-man staff, or do you have a whole fleet of people? I mean,
No, I'm really just kind of a one-man show, and I hire some other people to help me do installs when I need it. And but I pretty much work by myself and through Jim and some of his.
You staying pretty busy out there, though?
Very busy.
Oh, that's good. Well, it's time to grow, man. Time to grow, man.
We're trying all the time.
That's always the challenge being an entrepreneur, though, is growth. You know, because you can never find somebody to trust them to do the job. Because you do it just the way they're right. And if I come in and try to do it, you're going to find all the things wrong with it. That's always a challenge. I mention that all the time on this show and stuff. But don't let that stop you. If you got a lot of business, man, it's time to grow.
Well, you do. But like I said, I take a very personal interest in the finished product with the customers, and I like to be personally involved in every job that I do. So I don't want to get it so big that I lose touch with that.
Right.
So
well, congratulations. On the successful business. You're 30 years now in the business.
Over 30 years in the business.
Well, how'd you get hooked up?
Full age, but over 30 years.
How'd you get hooked up with Jim and Yeager and Company?
I'm not sure how we did that, Jim.
I think we'd met maybe at the store one day you came in, or maybe we called, I think, for an installation. I mean, the biggest problem is, like a lot of the businesses, you can have a great product. If you don't have somebody you can rely on to go out and do the template, measure it, make sure it's going to fit when they get there, nothing more disheartening than getting to a customer's house and they come home and it's not done because somebody didn't do the job right.
Right.
So it's been a blessing. I mean, it's so good. Like when you have Charlie the plumber and Pat, and you have a need, we don't have to make but one call, and it's done. The people always come back. They just love them. So
let's say hear from Charlie there, Charlie Palavita, Charlie the plumber. And you go by that. By the way, that's your branding, right? Charlie the plumber.
Charlie the plumber. Somebody asked me one day, "Hey, are you like Joe the plumber?" I says, "No, I'm a lot more conservative, and I have a license." He didn't have a plumbing license, but anyway. Hey, plus I got more hair. He was pretty bald. And anyway, it's still.
It's right on your card, Palavita Plumbing Company, Charlie the Plumber. So, I mean, that's good. You're creating yourself a brand and stuff, and obviously you're an interesting character and stuff, so that's what people want, that's what people remember. So
but remember, before I was Charlie the Plumber, I was Charlie the Marine.
And you're also Charlie the Wrestler, too.
Hell, I'm still Charlie the Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, as we've been instructed by our drill instructors. And you know what? Hey, God bless all of our veterans. Jim Yeager is doing something special. He's starting it's a private
nonprofit,
nonprofit
lending hand to the Marines that are coming out of the service.
I didn't know about this. So what is this?
We wanted to save it for you. We're calling it PI. As a Marine, we all know Paris Island is the boarding spot for Marines, new Marines. And when Marines, it's time to come out, get discharged, and get acclimated back into society, we're going to start, private industry. We already have, indirectly, without making anything of it, just happen to think of it, and we come to the show every week. You can say so much about a business, but it would be nice to be able to return something to our community.
Right.
And over the years, had different guys, like one in particular, Craig Brown, who's going to be on in a couple of weeks, pardon me, that one day drove by the store, and we always fly our colors, the American flag and Marine Corps flag, and he stopped just to say thanks. So I got to talking with him, and he was a sergeant major. He was in charge of most of the recruiting efforts at that time of his career. And he had got out after 30 years in the enlisted rank. You have to get out, not like the officers that can stay in for longer periods of time. But anyway, in conversation, he spent, I think it was $5,000 or $6,000 to go to a headhunter to try to find employment. And he was there for like 6 weeks, and then you have to spend more and more and more money, and nothing was happening. So I said to him, geez, if you just need a job, and he's already retired, is making money, let me help you. I'll find you a job. And I did in, I think, a day, and then he went in for the interview. Today he's been with the company now. It's 8 years.
Hoorah. You know what? Marines giving back to Marines. You know what? But we love all the service people out there. God bless them all. We're all brothers and sisters. And you know what? In this organization, PI, Paris Island to Private Industry, and you know, I like it. I tell you what.
That's the name of the organization. Is yours? It's just PI.
Yeah, we have it over at the attorney now, just to making sure that we can do that. But I'll tell you, we just hired. I was showing Charlie the resume for Travis, who just started with us on Monday. Marine just got back from Afghanistan, and he's going to be on next Thursday. Charlie will be working with him. His resume, I mean, would just blow your mind. The average person.
What a great young American. I tell you what, in a firefight, I want him on my side.
I hear about employment issues with returning vets from time to time. What is it that is so challenging? I would want to hire a vet because they're trained, they know how to take orders. Why?
It's the vet, I think, that needs the help to find the industry. I think that's where it's at, because they're coming back with a different mindset. You know, regardless of wartime, peacetime, you go from a military, you know, day in and day out to back into
structured
civilian
work
life.
and punching the clock or whatever and appointments and stuff. Okay,
it's amazing. Even with Travis, yesterday I seen him. When I first seen him, the first day I guess it was, he was a little, I wouldn't say shy, but you know, kind of not stepping up. But I seen him yesterday morning. You know, came up, gave me a big handshake. Likes already now being back into, you know, the work environment. I mean, it's still military and work. You know, there's a lot of similarities. But I'll tell you, I look in the eye, and I can see that clear white eye, fresh mind, motivated, dedicated. You know, oorah, let me get to work. That is priceless. So if employers that aren't familiar, not just with the Marine Corps, but we can only do so much as, you know, Charlie and I. So we're going to zero in on what we know best. Now,
your nonprofit that you're starting, is it strictly going to be for a job placement, or is there going to be like a coaching aspect to the organization as well?
Again, it's new, but job placement, I think, right now. And this is, I thought, a good thing for your show, too, because you have all the business people coming in. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it would be great for industry where you need guys that are good, you know, dedicated, disciplined, hardworking Americans. You know, you couldn't ask for a better employee in any kind of level. It doesn't matter what it is, from service to professional.
So how soon before you have this launch? You said
we've been doing it. We just hired a guy in, Travis, Monday. The only thing we want to do is, you know, get more Marines that are out there that are looking for jobs.
And do you need a network of employers to step up and kind of become part of your sphere here?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be able to get the word out.
Okay.
Hence your radio show,
all right,
you know, business show.
Yeah, I'm just learning about this today. Yeah. I think you had mentioned it in passing yesterday in just a quick email to me and everything. But, you know, so that's great. So you're starting PI to PI?
Yep, PI to PI, Paris Island to private industry.
Paris Island to private industry, and it's focused on placing Marines in the workplace environment, you know, once they come back from their tours overseas. And so you need a network of employers that are going to assist you in this space as well, correct?
Exactly. You know, again, as a business owner, and every day trying to find people in different areas. I mean, we are constantly looking for people. It's tough out there. Mm-hmm. And I don't care. I mean, we use the Zip Recruiter, and we use all the, you know, the Zip, I guess, has everybody, and the Monster you don't hear that much about anymore. But it's very, very difficult to find, you know, employees. We background check everybody, you know, for our business. We'll do that as well, and, you know, we'll continue to do that to make sure that if we do take an individual to another company, that at least we can do whatever it is that we're capable of to make sure that the person not only is has a good background, comes from an honorably discharged Marine, to being background checked. And
well, that's incredible. Yeah. And again, just another great thing going on in the Tampa Bay community, and something I'm just learning about today, as a matter of fact. So any ways that I can help promote that, absolutely. And people that are hearing about this on the airwaves, send me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com, if you want to help Jim Yeager over at Yeager & Company get involved with this project. Again, private industry, or Paris Island to private industry, you know, a job placement nonprofit organization designed to help Marines coming back from their tours overseas. Got to take a quick break, but coming back from the break, we'll talk a little bit more here with Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company, as well as Charlie and Pat in studio with us today as well. So you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage. In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
This report is brought to you by iHeartMedia.
Looking for a way to increase your business? Ever thought about advertising on radio? iHeartMedia can customize a campaign to meet your specific needs. Call 844-BUY-RADIO. That's 844-BUY-RADIO. Or go to iHeartMedia.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Stop-and-go traffic continues on 275 southbound, approaching Ashley Drive because of an earlier crash that still blocks the right shoulder. Still have a crash on 50th Street northbound at Palm River Road. A lane may still be blocked here. And a crash in Brandon on State Road 60 at the ramp to northbound I-75. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamston and Udelwick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
More humid, 10% rain chance, high 82. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 67. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 81.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, find this show on weekdays here at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ as I'm talking with all the different business owners and entrepreneurs growing the Tampa Bay and regional community. And again, if you're a fellow business owner in the area and want to come on the show and grow and promote your business, feel free to send me a quick email, Jamie at Tampa Bay Radio. I'd love to hear from you, Jamie at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, learn more about the show at TampaBayRadio.com. We're here talking with Jim Yeager of Yeager & Company, along with Pat Woodrich and Charlie Palavita on the Remodeler's Corner, a weekly feature highlighting Yeager & Company, a local third-generation contracting firm specializing in flooring, bath remodels, anything contracting. Feel free to reach out to them, YeagerFlooring.com. Don't let the website confuse you. They're more than just flooring. Contact them for all your renovation needs and remodels and things of that nature. And before the break, we were just talking about their this new nonprofit that Yeager & Company and then Jim's sponsoring here, PI to PI, Paris Island to Private Industry, which is going to be a great little nonprofit aimed at assisting military veterans from the Marines who come back from service, finding employment. And Charlie, I know this is something that's very near and dear to your heart. And how are you going to be involved in this?
Well, we want to pass on the word and get it out there to all the business owners out there to hire these young Marines, because with their training, they're always trained to improvise and to adapt. There's nothing that a Marine can't do. We've been taught this. It's been instilled into us. Even that little 125-pound Marine thinks he's the baddest thing on the face of this earth, and there's nothing that he can't do. This is just the difference between a Marine and a soldier or a sailor or anybody else. The Marines do more with the least amount of stuff. I mean, the Marines are always the first in, last out. They were the first special service ever before the SEALs, before the Green Beret. And the Marines, you know what? There's nothing that the Marines cannot do. And you know what? And it's always nice to have a little bit of help from our friends because we love all the service people out there. But this is Marines giving back to Marines. From Paris Island to private industry.
Yeah, it's a good little branding tool, too, PI to PI. It's definitely something that'll stick in people's head, too. So very good on the creative aspect of it
Yeah,
as
people
well.
have never been up to Paris Island, and if they ever get a chance to go up there and watch a graduation, it's one of the best parades you'll ever see. Something will make you feel all warm and fuzzy, and it's a wonderful place. Hey, wasn't even a bad place to go to boot camp with the sand fleas and the swamps. Hey, beautiful place.
Let's start back over to Pat Woodrich with the window coverings and blind company. So talk to us a little bit more about some of the shutters and options that we have. I know you wanted to talk a little bit more about a few things that you had available.
Well, yeah, we like I said before, we do a full line of plantation shutters. We can do them on windows. We can do them on arch windows. We can do them on French doors. We can do them on sliding glass doors. So they can be put in a variety of places. And like I said, we have all different types of shutters, from composites to synthetics to woods. We've got them all.
What is the best shutter? I mean, out of those three choices, I mean, what do you feel is the best?
The one I use pretty much all the time, Jim, is the Polycore shutter, which is an aluminum reinforced poly shutter that can withstand the moisture, the sun, the heat down here in Florida. It pretty much stands up to everything.
And light too, like will the sunlight yellow that or
no?
Not an issue.
No, and it comes with a 25-year warranty against about everything. So it's the shutter that I prefer to use. I'll put it that way.
And what about like square footage? You see a lot of things on the in the newspaper and stuff. $17.95 installed and so on. I mean, what is really like a realistic price point? For a square foot. Do they price by square foot?
They price by square foot, but it's like anything else. I'm sure you find the same in flooring. It depends on what you're buying and what you're getting. So, we range anywhere from probably $19.95 a square foot all the way up to as much as $24 a square foot, depending on what options you get, because there are quite a few of them that come with the shutters.
Now, where can people get more information? Do you have a website, and how can people get in touch with you for window covers and treatments?
You can get a hold of Shutters, Blinds, and More myself on my phone at 813-390-6725, or you can go to our website, which is shuttersblindsandmore.com.
Shutters with an S.
With an S.
Blinds with another S, and more, shuttersblindsandmore.com. And what was that phone number again one more time?
Area code 813-390-6725.
All right, great information. And if you didn't catch that over there, we'll get that up on the show recap as well. Charlie, what about you? You got a website yet?
Yeah, you can go to Charlie the Plumber in Odessa, Florida, and
that's the website, Charlie the Plumber in Odessa, Florida.
Odessa, Florida, because there's Charlie the Plumbers elsewhere.
No, I mean that's the whole website there, Charlie the Plumber in OdessaFlorida.com, or what's your website?
Well, that's it.
Yeah. Do you have the website? Yeah, I'm looking at your card here, so why don't you get you a site?
Yeah, you can look it up. But any
Charlie will tell you he has more work. He doesn't have the time to do it.
There's another thing that's near and dear to my heart is politics, because I've been called Charlie, the politically incorrect plumber. Right. And for that, I apologize to no one, because you know what? I espouse my Christian, capitalist, conservative values, and if that offends anybody, like I tell them, oh, well, get over it. What? It's just like our country, letting 40 terrorists back into our country went to go fight for ISIS. How dare our government let these guys that go fight for ISIS, that are cutting off heads, crucifying people, murdering children.
Well, that's a topic for a whole other show, unfortunately.
No, it is, but how dare they let them back into our country? You know what? Because they're going to come over here to do us harm. The State Department is at fault. What?
Well, I got to cut you off here. We're about to hit the end of the show, so we'll let you ramble on next Thursday about that. So got to cut out here though. Jim, thank you very much as always for coming in studio today. Again, Jim Yeager of Yeager and Company. Learn more about them over at YeagerFlooring.com. And again, you've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. See y'all tomorrow.